I was already working on another video when this news dropped, but I just had to talk about it. If you've been following the entertainment news at all this past week, you'll already know that Netflix has officially acquired WB. The deal has stuff to finalize, but it's looking like it's gonna happen. The merger's gonna be complete. They're gonna own Warner Brothers Studios, and everybody, well, nearly everybody, is in hysterics about it. The doom button has been pressed. It's all over for the industry, right? I don't quite think so. Now, let me iterate. Okay, let me just make this clear. I am not at all defending the merger because I don't see any good that can come from it. A lot of bad can actually come from it, but I just want to come on here and sort of give my thoughts on the things that people are worried about are going to happen with this merger and why I feel like it's not going to be as catastrophic as people think it's going to be. Again, it could still be. These are just my thoughts. I'm not predicting anything, but there are some factors I thought about that makes me feel like Netflix is not going to completely just dilute and wash out WB. When you look at Netflix, they're a very successful platform, but as a company, they are deep in debt. And the reason that is because they spend so much money making original content, but the only money that comes from that is the subscription price itself. And that only gets paid once per account. We don't pay to watch the shows, we just pay to have access to all of the content, and a lot of it now is original and it's very high budget stuff. So I think, Netflix heard WB needed someone to buy them out, and they had an idea and they said, we need to get some IPs under our belt. Stranger Things is on the way out. We need something that's really going to bring us in some money, bring us in some attention. Not that Netflix needs attention. It's the most successful platform in the entire world. But the fact that they keep canceling the original properties, it's no secret that they're kind of hurting for something that's going to be permanent and long running. And what does WB have? A lot of stuff. Harry Potter, Wizarding World, uh, Evil Dead, The Conjuring, right? They have a lot of stuff under their belt that they own, most especially DC. Now, what is the number one concern everyone has about this merger? It's that Netflix is going to just kill the movie theater, right? And I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. Yes, there has been an article that's been released where the CEO has been quoted as saying that run times in theaters are going to be shorter, as in the movies being in theaters are going to be cut shorter because that model is not consumer friendly. But there's still about a year and a half to 2 years before this deal finally closes, and I think in that time, minds are going to change and deals are going to be talked about. And I think that little portion that he wants to make movies have a shorter time in theaters, I don't think that's going to stick because they're in so much debt and they don't make any money back from the original content. I think what's actually going to happen is Netflix is going to continue to allow these properties to be in theaters. It would be the dumbest move possible from a business standpoint to just relegate Batman to theaters. Batman is one of the most famous, biggest money making superhero properties of all time. And you're just going to relegate that to the small screen. Yeah, I understand you want the streaming numbers, but you're not really making money from that. How are you going to make money from that? Actual revenue from movie theaters, from movie tickets. And honestly, this year alone, Netflix has already shown interest in putting things out in theaters. The Frankenstein was in theaters for a short period of time. K-pop Demon Hunters was in theaters for a short period of time. And the Stranger Things finale will be in theaters. Now, yes, I understand that movies in general are in theaters for much longer than a month and a half or even just 2 days, right? But these days they're in theaters for about 2.5 to 3 months, and then they go to streaming or go on home release, what have you. But Netflix has sort of been playing with the idea of being in theaters for a little bit, and with those three things, it's been shown, not with Frankenstein really, but with about Demon Hunters, it was proven to them that people do want that original content on the big screen. And I think they're going to see that. They're going to see the numbers that superheroes generate, and they're going to keep superheroes in theaters. It would just make sense. And if they want to expand their empire, their media empire, they'll be smart and they'll keep the WB properties in theaters. Now, what's inevitable is probably that some of these things, if they don't think that they're going to make a profit, are going to be stuck to their platform. Hey, see it here first, or see it here exclusively. That's going to happen. But when you look at some big heavy hitters like Superman, Batman, the Justice League, those are going to be in the theaters. And I think if they want to make their money back, they're going to want to make that happen. Now, with this merger, where I'm most concerned is, what does this mean for physical media? WB, as a big studio, releases nearly all of their content on physical. And Netflix hasn't really gotten into the physical game. They're kind of teasing their interest to have their content in theaters. As far as physical media, not really. They've kind of done it. You know, they put seasons 1 or 2 of Stranger Things out on these box sets, but they didn't do it for 3 and 4. And, you know, they have like soundtracks on vinyl. They got some stuff going on here and there physically, but they're not really into it. And it makes sense. They're a streaming model. They left that behind when they used to be, you know, a rental platform. They're not doing that anymore. They don't just see any money in it. And so the doom and gloom for me is that I think they're going to decide to not go with physical media anymore, and we may not see WB in physical media anymore, which kind of sucks. I like owning my superheroes on 4K on Blu-ray. You know, the physical media, it just doesn't make the studios money like it used to. As a physical media collector, as a lover of it, I have to admit that it's just not making the money that it used to. So it stands to reason that Netflix may very well decide to just phase that out completely for WB. But what is an interesting question is, what about on other digital platforms? Could it be that we're going to see, you know, these WB properties stop being available on other digital platforms where you can't pay for them individually anymore, like on Apple TV Plus or Fandango at Home or whatever? Is it going to be a thing where they keep them exclusively to Netflix digitally? That would actually make sense. But if they wanted to continue to make money off of that, I think it'd be smart to, again, like keeping in theaters, allowing other digital platforms to distribute their content so they make money off of it. But ultimately, if they decide, and they will, to phase out physical media, that's going to be a dark day for me, and my heart is going to be fully broken. So that's enough out of me about this, but what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Are you for this merger? Are you completely elated that this is happening? Are you freaking out? Are you pressing the do button? Is it over? Is the industry just changed forever? Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or don't agree with me, and I'll see you in the next one, actually very soon. Take care.